Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stay on your mind long after they've left the room? Why certain individuals have this magnetic quality that makes you crave their presence even when they're not around? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of human psychology to uncover 8 powerful techniques that can make someone miss you deeply. But here's the thing, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. These are genuine psychological principles rooted in how our minds naturally work when it comes to attachment, memory, and desire. Whether you're trying to strengthen a romantic relationship, deepen a friendship, or simply become more memorable in your social and professional circles, these scientifically backed strategies will help you create lasting impressions that keep you in people's thoughts. So if you're ready to discover the psychology behind unforgettable connections, let's jump right in. Trick number 1. The power of intermittent availability. The first psychological principle we need to understand is something called intermittent reinforcement. This concept, first discovered by psychologist B.F. Skinner, explains why slot machines are so addictive and why this same principle can make you incredibly memorable to others. When you're constantly available, always responding immediately to texts, always saying yes to every invitation, always being the person someone can count on to be there, you inadvertently train people to take your presence for granted. Your availability becomes predictable, and our brains are wired to pay less attention to predictable things. But when you introduce an element of unpredictability into your availability, something fascinating happens. The other person's brain starts to crave the reward of your attention because it can't predict when it will receive it. This creates what psychologists call an anticipation loop. Here's how to apply this effectively. Don't always be the first to respond. Sometimes let a few hours pass before replying to a text. Occasionally decline a social invitation because you have other commitments. Show that you have a full, interesting life outside of any single relationship. The key is balance. You want to be warm and engaging when you are present, but you also want to maintain some mystery about your schedule and availability. This isn't about being rude or inconsiderate. It's about showing that you value your own time and have multiple priorities in life. When someone can't predict exactly when they'll hear from you or see you next, they'll find themselves thinking about you more often during those in-between moments. Trick number 2. Create positive emotional anchors. Our memories aren't just collections of facts. They're deeply tied to the emotions we felt during specific experiences. This is why you can hear a song from years ago and suddenly feel transported back to exactly how you felt when you first heard it. To make someone miss you deeply, you need to become associated with positive emotional states in their mind. When you're with someone, focus on creating moments of genuine joy, laughter, excitement, or deep connection. This means being fully present during your interactions. Put away your phone. Listen actively to what they're saying. Share stories that make them laugh. Ask questions that help them open up about things they're passionate about. Create inside jokes together. Share meaningful experiences that they'll remember long after you've parted ways. The goal is to become what psychologists call a positive emotional anchor in their life. When they think of you, they should automatically feel good. When they remember your conversations, they should smile. When your name comes up, they should light up a little bit. One powerful technique is to end your interactions on a high note. If you're having a great conversation, don't let it fizzle out naturally. Instead, end it while the energy is still. Hi, saying something like, "I'm having such a great time talking with you, but I should head out. Let's continue this conversation soon." This leaves them wanting more and creates a positive final impression that will linger in their mind. Trick number 3. The Zeigarnik effect. Leave things unfinished. Named after psychologist Bloomer Zeigarnik, the Zeigarnik effect describes our tendency to remember interrupted or incomplete tasks better than completed ones. Our brains have a natural desire for closure, and when something is left unfinished, it continues to occupy mental space. You can use this psychological principle to stay on someone's mind by occasionally leaving conversations, stories, or experiences unfinished. For example, you might start telling an interesting story during a conversation, but then get interrupted or realize you need to leave before finishing it. Say something like, "Oh, that reminds me of the craziest thing that happened to me last week, but I see we're running out of time. I'll have to tell you the rest next time we talk." Or you might share the beginning of an exciting plan you're working on, but keep some details mysterious. "I'm planning something really special for next month. I think you'd love it, but I want to keep it a surprise for now." The key is to create natural cliffhangers that make the other person curious about what comes next. Their brain will continue thinking about the unfinished story or incomplete information even after you've left. This technique also works with shared activities. If you're working on a project together, watching a TV series, or planning an event, don't try to complete everything in one sitting. Leave some elements for future interactions, giving you natural reasons to reconnect and giving them something to look forward to. Trick number 4. Mirror their values and aspirations. One of the deepest human needs is to feel understood and validated. When someone feels that you truly get them, their dreams, their values, their way of seeing the world, it creates a profound psychological bond that's hard to forget. To create this connection, pay close attention to what the other person values most deeply. What are their core beliefs? What are their biggest dreams and aspirations? What kind of person do they want to become? What experiences matter most to them? Then, when appropriate, share your own related values and experiences. If they're passionate about environmental conservation, share your own concerns about climate change and the steps you're taking to live more sustainably. If they dream of traveling the world, talk about your own travel experiences or places you'd love to visit, but here's the crucial part. This has to be genuine. Don't pretend to share values you don't actually hold. Instead, look for areas where your values and theirs naturally align and explore those connections together. When someone feels that you understand and share their deepest values, they begin to see you as more than just a friend or romantic interest. You become someone who gets them on a fundamental level. This creates a sense of psychological compatibility that's incredibly powerful. People miss those who make them feel truly understood and accepted for who they are. When you can be that person for someone, you become irreplaceable in their mind. Trick 5. The peak end rule. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman discovered something fascinating about how we remember experiences. Rather than remembering the entire duration of an experience equally, we tend to judge experiences based on two key moments: the peak moment, the most intense point, and how the experience ended. This means that to make someone miss you, you don't need every moment together to be perfect. You need to create memorable peak moments and end your time together on a high note. A peak moment might be when you both burst into uncontrollable laughter over something silly. It might be a moment of deep emotional connection, when they open up about something personal and you respond with perfect understanding. It might be when you surprise them with something thoughtful that shows you were really listening to them. These peak moments become the highlights that their brain returns to when they think about you. They're the scenes that play in their mind when your name comes up in conversation, or when they're deciding whether they want to spend more time with you. Equally important is how you end your interactions. Even if you've had a wonderful time together, if the interaction ends on a negative note, perhaps with an argument or awkward moment, that's what they're most likely to remember. Instead, always try to end on a positive note. Express genuine appreciation for the time you spent together. Reference something you enjoyed about the conversation. Make a positive comment about seeing them again soon. By consciously creating positive peak moments and endings, you ensure that when someone thinks back on their time with you, their overall emotional memory will be overwhelmingly positive. Trick number 6. Be genuinely curious about their inner world. Most people go through life feeling like they're not truly seen or understood by others. We're all so busy thinking about our own lives, our own problems, our own goals, that we rarely take the time to really understand what's going on in someone else's inner world. When you show genuine curiosity about someone's thoughts, feelings, dreams, and experiences, you give them something incredibly rare, the feeling of being truly seen and heard. This isn't about asking surface-level questions like, "How was your day?" Instead, ask questions that invite them to share their inner experience. What's been on your mind lately? What's something you're excited about right now? What's a challenge you're working through? What's something most people don't know about you? Then, and this is crucial, listen actively to their answers. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Ask follow-up questions. Show that you're genuinely interested in understanding their perspective. Remember details they share and bring them up in future conversations. When someone feels that you're genuinely interested in who they are as a person, not just what they can do for you or how they make you feel, it creates a deep psychological bond. They start to see you as someone special, someone different from most people they encounter. People miss those who make them feel important, understood, and valued. By being genuinely curious about their inner world, you become that rare person who truly sees them. Trick number 7, create shared secrets and inside references. Humans are tribal creatures. We naturally want to feel like we belong to something special, something exclusive. One of the most powerful ways to create this feeling with someone is through shared secrets and inside references that only the two of you understand. This might be an inside joke that developed during one of your conversations. It might be a funny nickname you have for someone else that you both find amusing. It might be a shared observation about something you both witnessed. It might be a song that has special meaning because of when you first heard it together. These shared references create what psychologists call in-group markers, signals that you and this person belong to an exclusive group of two. Every time you reference your inside joke or shared experience, you're reinforcing the special bond between you. The power of this technique lies in how it makes the other person feel. When you reference something that only the two of you understand, it creates a moment of connection and exclusivity. It reminds them that you share something special that they don't have with anyone else. Start paying attention to moments when these inside references naturally develop. When something funny happens that only you two witness, comment on it and help create a shared memory around it. When you discover that you both love the same obscure movie or have the same pet peeve, turn it into an ongoing reference point between you. Over time, these accumulating shared references create a rich tapestry of connection that makes your relationship feel unique and irreplaceable. Trick number 8. The strategic use of vulnerability. The final psychological principle involves the careful use of vulnerability to create deep emotional connections. Research by Dr. Brené Brown and others has shown that vulnerability is the birthplace of connection, courage, and creativity. When you share something personal about yourself, a fear, a dream, a struggle, a meaningful experience, you invite the other person into your inner world. This creates what psychologists call emotional intimacy, which is one of the strongest predictors of lasting relationships. But here's the key: your vulnerability needs to be strategic and graduated. You don't want to overwhelm someone by sharing your deepest secrets the first time you meet them. Instead, gradually increase the depth of what you share as your relationship develops. Start with lighter personal details, maybe something you're passionate about or a funny story from your past. As you get to know each other better, you can share more meaningful experiences or current challenges you're facing. The goal is to be authentic and real without being overwhelming. When someone sees that you trust them enough to share personal aspects of your life, it makes them feel special and valued. It also gives them permission to be vulnerable with you in return, which deepens the connection between you. People miss those who make them feel emotionally connected and trusted. When you show appropriate vulnerability, you create the kind of deep, meaningful connection that people crave and remember long after you're apart. So there you have it, 8 powerful psychological principles that can make someone miss you deeply. From the strategic use of intermittent availability to the creation of positive emotional anchors, from leveraging the Zeigarnik effect to building genuine emotional intimacy through vulnerability. But remember, the most important thing about all of these techniques is that they should come from a place of genuine care and interest in the other person. These aren't manipulation tactics. They're ways to build authentic, meaningful connections that naturally make you memorable and missed. The people we miss most aren't those who try to control our emotions or play psychological games with us. They're the people who make us feel truly seen, understood, and valued. They're the people who bring out the best in us and create positive experiences that we want to repeat. Focus on being genuinely interested in others, creating positive, shared experiences, and building authentic emotional connections. When you do this consistently, you won't have to worry about whether people miss you. They naturally will, because you'll have become a positive, meaningful presence in their lives. If you found these insights helpful, remember to like this video and subscribe for more content about psychology, relationships, and personal development. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these techniques resonates most with you? Or do you have your own strategies for building memorable connections? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.